On my microphone. Thank you, members. Can I ask you please to remain standing for a moment? I would like to introduce Reverend Dr. Paul Edmondson to lead us in thought before today's meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Good morning, everybody. William Shakespeare's The Tempest is about to open at the Royal Shakespeare Theatre this evening. Sir Kenneth Branagh, a freeman of Stratford-on-Avon, will play the leading role of Prospero. It's certainly a tempestuous time in our nation's political life. In times of turbulence, personal, political, how do we find our anchor, our haven? Do we even know what our anchor is, or where lies our haven? After a year as your chaplain, I've expressed my willingness, at the invitation of Councillor Mike Rice, our incoming chairman, to remain as your chaplain. In the fact that you have the post of a chaplain for the district council is an anchor in and of itself, a signpost to your haven. As a priest in the Church of England, Jesus Christ is my anchor, my hope, my strength, the calm in the centre of life's storms, and my personal storms. He is my example of how to help others, how to be alongside them. He is my belief in the light that resides in all people, and through him I receive the promise of eternal life. Politics relies on leaders who want to be liked. My faith relies on a leadership of love. Jesus did not set out to be liked. He set out to love and to tell the truth. This is why he is an anchor, itself a symbol of hope. This is why his leadership of love is able to calm the storm and take us to a safe haven. So as we look towards the year ahead, setting forth for another adventure in politics, walking together in hope for the greater good of our communities, for the betterment of those in need, for the improvement of mutual well-being, please remember that I am, if anyone needs me, a chaplain for working days, not just for opening meetings. If any of you would like to consult me pastorally and in confidence, then you can reach out to me through Tina Brain. Away we go. Here's to our voyage through the year ahead. Here's to our incoming chairman, Mike, to your leadership, and here's to all of you, to your dedication to public service, and here's to our outgoing chairman, Councillor Kate Rolfe, for all of your leadership and for steering us through this last year. May we all be anchors and safe havens to those in need. Thank you. This is lovely, thank you. You're very welcome. And thanks to my bottle of wine. Well, I hope it's wine.
It's communion wine.
I declare this meeting of Annual Council open. You can now be seated. Welcome everyone to the Annual Council meeting on the 13th of May 2026. There are no planned fire alarms scheduled at this time, therefore should the fire alarm go off, please make your way out of the building via the nearest fire exit to the car park beside the Windmill pub. Councillors, when addressing the meeting, please stand and ensure your microphone is switched on and that you speak directly into the microphone so that it is picked up via the live audio feed. When you're finished addressing the meeting, please turn off your microphone immediately. Please do not move the microphone from its set position, and when speaking, ensure the microphone is directly in front of you and not to the side or up high. over to you now.
Okay. Chair, thank you. I just wanted, before we got on to the businesses today, to make a couple of announcements about changes of meeting dates in the coming municipal year. So the first one relates to the licensing panel, which was scheduled for the 10th of June 2026, will now be held on the 11th of June 2026 instead. The Overview and Scrutiny Committee that was scheduled for the 6th of January 2027 is moved to the 13th of January 2027, and the corresponding Cabinet meeting, which is to be held on the 11th of January, has now been rescheduled to the 18th of January 2027. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, David. The first item on the agenda is election of Chair of Council. I now seek nominations for Chair of the Council for 2026-27. Do I have a proposer, please? Councillor Ballinger.
Thank you, Chair. It would be a great honour to propose Councillor Mike Rice as Chair.
Thank you very much. Do I have a seconder, please? Councillor Keithley.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Yes, I'm delighted to second Mike Rice as Chair for the following year, or for this coming year. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any more nominations? I announce that Councillor Rice is elected Chair of the Council. What?
If you swap chains now with Mike.
Oh, right, okay. Swapping chains.
I, Mike Rice, having been elected to the office of Chair of the Council of the District of Stratford-upon-Avon, hereby declare that I take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to be guided by Stratford-on-Avon District Council's Code of Members' Conduct in the performance of my functions in that office. Okay.
Okay. You just sign.
Let me just sign it.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you very much. You haven't got your consort here, have you? They're not coming today, but just talk to the council for a bit now and talk about what your charities will be.
Oh, okay, yes, yes. Yeah, thank you, David. Yes, I'm privileged and honoured to be elected chair of Stratford-on-Avon District Council, and I'm very much looking forward to the next 12 months. My chosen charities are two. They will be the Shakespeare Hospice and Vassar. And I've chosen those two charities because they are local and they are district-wide, and they both perform very valuable work. And I hope that in my term of office I will be able to support them to meet their goals. I don't think I want to say anything more at this point. I think the next part should... I presented the... yes, I've done that. Okay, right. So the next page of the script, I should have read this earlier, shouldn't I? Can I sit? Wow. Okay, I move that the Council offers its sincere congratulations and thanks to Councillor Kate Rolfe for the exemplary manner in which she has carried out the duties of Chair of the Council in the past year in 25-26. And I would like to present Councillor Rolfe with a badge for her and also a badge for her consort Mike to commemorate her year as Chair of the Council. Another kiss. And the flag.
Kate's going to now say a few words.
No. Where the flag is, Steve. The flag.
We'll do that after Kate said a few words.
Oh.
Because she's sick.
No, we've changed it. Okay. Right.
So Kate said,
Yes, Kate, sorry.
It's all right, no problem. Councillors, it's not been easy. Frankly, it's been hell sometimes. I've had to deal with this lot. I've had to deal with you lot. And all that socialising I've been forced to do. And to top it all, as if that wasn't enough, I had to go to a royal garden party last week at Buckingham Palace. It was hell that's been forced upon me. But seriously, what an absolute pleasure it's been. David, Marcia, Anne, Tina and Ciara, I literally couldn't have done this last year without you. You've all been so helpful and supportive, and I thank you for guiding me through the whole process and procedure. It's been lovely closely working with you all. Councillors, it's been interesting sitting up here looking out at you all. It's a completely different perspective compared to the last 18 years I have been a district councillor sitting down there. For the most part, you've all been incredibly respectful and been obviously very passionate about helping your residents. I was rather hoping I might achieve a medal for the most gavel banging a chair has done, but you've disappointed me because I only had to use it half a dozen times. Thank you all for representing your residents. I really appreciate that. And finally, the civic bit. As well as many civic services and civic dinners for mayors and chairs across Warwickshire, some of the highlights have been attending the reenactment of the Battle of Evesham. It's like a lively council meeting, but with swords and lances on horseback. If ever any of you get the chance to go, because it's amazing, and you might see Mr. Buckland and Mr. Perks, as I know they attend regularly, though unarmed and on foot. I had the honour of meeting Hannah Hampton in her hometown of Studley, England goalkeeper who helped us win the Ladies European Cup Championship in 2025. I've attended a dragon boat race and dressed up as a dragon with a chain on, of course, and I've been to the Warwickshire Scouts Jamboree at Ragley Hall. My chairmanship culminated in attending the Royal Garden Party at Buckingham Palace last Friday, and it was the most wonderful, wonderful day I have ever had. It was truly an amazing experience. And lastly, but most definitely not least, I set up many fundraising events to raise money for my charity Eco Workshop. I'm not entirely sure how much I've raised yet, as the money is still being added up, but it's going to be upwards of £7,000. I am so grateful to have met this amazing organisation who look after adults with learning difficulties just down the road here in Clifford Chambers. I will most definitely continue to support them in any way I can. Thank you to my husband and consort for his love and support, and thank you all for supporting me as your chair, and I sincerely wish Mike all the best for his year ahead. Thank you. Another kiss. Another kiss. Thank you. Ooh, lovely. Thank you very much. Thank you. Right.
Okay.
That's me finished now. Yes. That's
I now seek nominations for the Vice Chair for 2026-27. I'm looking for proposers. Councillor Alcock.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, it's a great honour to be able to nominate Councillor Cliff Brown as Vice Chair of Stratford-on-Avon District Council. Thank you.
And do we have a seconder? Councillor Fradgley.
I'm delighted to second.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations? As there are none, I announce that Councillor Brown is elected Vice Chair of the Council. Yeah.
Flankers.
Pincer movement. Okay. Yes.
I, Cliff Brown, having been elected to the office of Vice Chair of the Council of the District of Stratford-on-Avon, hereby declare that I will take that office upon myself and will duly and faithfully fulfil the duties of it according to the best of my judgment and ability. I undertake to be guided by Stratford-on-Avon District Council's Code of Members' Conduct in the performance of my functions in that office.
Item 4 on the agenda is apologies for absence. David?
Chair, thank you. We have apologies from Councillors Eden, Harrison, Petrovic, Parker and Bromwich. Thank you.
Good. Declarations of interest. Do any members or officers have any declarations of interest on items on the agenda? No? Good. Item 6 is the report of the returning officer. I would like to welcome the new district councillor following the election in the Bishops, Itchington, Fenny Compton and Napton ward. Can the new councillor be upstanding? Welcome to Councillor Bevan. I move that the council place on record its thanks to the following councillor who has retired as district councillor, Nigel Rock. I believe that the leader of the council wishes to say a few words at this point.
Yes, I do. Because when I first became leader, when the administration changed at this council, Nigel Rock was the deputy leader. I have to thank him, and it's I really, really give personal thanks to the work that he did as deputy leader in those early days. Not only in bringing the the group together, not only in making sure that people could serve on various committees and be chairs and do the kind of work of the council, but in giving the support to me in those early days, which were pretty frantic. But I also want to thank him for the work that he also put in helping to put together the council plan and supporting the group in that as well. And he was doing an immense amount of work for the council as a whole, because the council plan is a crucial document that guides the council in the work that the officers do. And he did an immense amount of work on that one. And I would also like to be able to highlight a work that he's done on the South Warwickshire Local Plan Advisory Group as co-chair. Again, the amount of work, the reading, the support, the immense work that has gone on into that. Anybody who's been on the advisory group will understand the kind of work, the reading, the being able to be in touch, reading all those documents to make sure that this council is well served in its South Warwickshire Local Plan. I think, we underestimate sometimes the amount of work that goes in. So not only my personal thanks, I would like to give the thanks of the whole council to the work that Nigel Rock did as a councillor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Junid. I should like to call Councillor Pemberton at this point.
Thank you very much, Chair, and congratulations on your appointments, and I hope that you have a successful and gabble-free year. I just wanted to say a few words about Nigel. I've known and worked with Nigel through both his stints on the District Council between 2003 and 2011 and 2019 until his retirement just recently. It is the fashion to call out and denigrate our political opponents. It is a measure of Councillor Rock that both myself and Sir Jeremy Wright, his local MP, both have gone into print being very positive about Nigel. I described him, and Nigel will feel terrible about this because once again he finds himself in the position of having a Conservative be really nice about him. But he is the best of us. His greatest challenge was, of course, finding himself in agreement with people from other parties, particularly the Conservatives. But that was because Nigel has and always will be somebody who thinks and works collegiately. And I would describe him as being the best of us. He's known affectionately on this side of the chamber as Rocky. And save for that god-awful yellow jacket, which I'm so glad that he's not, having assaulted me earlier in the chamber, by the way, and VAR will be available to show you that later on. He has been more subtle with just the choice of the tie. But he's somebody who's always had, and it was clear on the doorsteps during the recent by-election, his residents at heart, more than anything else than party or anything like that. He is a good guy who's worked hard for his residents, and it showed in what people had to say, which meant it was a bit of a tough ask trying to take over from that. But do you know what? He knows his stuff. Councillor Junior referenced the work he's done on the advisory group, but he also earned trust across this entire chamber. He was, when I was deputy leader, quite exercised by the issue of self and custom build and felt that we didn't have the right approach. And he came to me and said, this is a problem. We need to do something about it. And it's, from my perspective, a testament to him and how he's trusted across this chamber that, from my perspective, I just said, we'll set up a group, you lead it, get on with it. And the policy that we've ended up with is as a result of his work. And as a opposition party portfolio holder, I didn't have to worry about it because I knew he'd do the hard yards, he'd do the thinking, and he'd come up with the best solution for us as a district council. And you know what? We should all be a bit more Rocky. Final thing I just want to share with you is an incident, and predates a number of you, and it gives you a bit of an insight into Councillor Rock. Following on from a committee meeting, he makes his way back to the car park, and he gets assaulted. That's not a funny thing, okay, just for the avoidance of doubt. But when he relays this tale, the most hurtful thing that came out of the entire incident was being referred to as an effing Tory. He took it with good grace. He has always been able to have the ability to disagree agreeably, and has, as I say, been, from my perspective, one of the best and most effective councillors this chamber has seen, certainly in my time since 2001 in this chamber. So I just want to ask us all to have a round of applause for Rocky.
Thank you, Councillor Pemberton. I should like to call upon Councillor Gist, who has been, and Nigel's colleague in the ward, to say a few more words.
Everyone's being nice. I'm not going to be nice. So, Nigel knows what I'm going to say because I got him to read this out to Priors Hardwick, so he knows what I'm about to say. So I want to say publicly that I've had the most fun working with Nigel over the past 3 and a bit years. And before we were elected, I arrived at an HS2 meeting to see Nigel explaining to an open-mouthed resident that no, I was not that sort of partner. We've had it a lot. When his car broke down, I introduced myself to a very confused AA man as his work wife. His confusion turned to bewilderment when Nigel's actual wife arrived. We've been all over the ward, and let me tell you, his driving leaves absolutely everything to be desired. He has crashed into car gates, backed into curbs, and even pressed a button that made his car completely shut down for 24 hours. Apparently, I make him nervous. He's grumpy, stubborn. Oh, I've typed grumpy twice. Since his retirement, I've had many inquiries as to Nigel's well-being, and I'm pleased to tell you that not only are we definitely not married, and in spite of his driving, he's also not dead. I'm going to miss you.
Thank you, Councillor Gist. I now move that the council place on record... Oh, sorry. Does anybody else want to say anything? Councillor Wally Hoggins.
Nigel Rock, I greeted you today with a hug. I don't do that to many Lib Dems, all right? But that is a mark of a man, I feel. And I want you to know, Nigel, that, I'm sorry everybody, but you are in fact my favourite Lib Dem, okay? Nigel has been the consummate professional, I believe, within this chamber, and I think that his like will be missed. I think he's been a great mentor to many people across both sides of this chamber, watching how to conduct oneself and his reasonableness. So, Nigel, I wish you a long and happy retirement, and I'm sorry to see you go today. Thank you.
Councillor Crump, would you like to say a few words?
Thank you, Chair, and again, congratulations on your appointment. Rocky, that's the name that I affectionately termed Councillor Rock. Not sure whether it's Rocky from the Chicken Run or Rocky Balboa, but when it comes to a fight, I'd rather have the Rocky Balboa in my corner, especially when dealing with Severn Trent and HS2. Nigel and I had a full set of hair, completely black before we started dealing with those organisations, and it has given us 1 or 2 sleepless nights. But if I ever wanted somebody to do some work with me to get the detail, Nigel was the man. And you'll be pleased to know, Nigel, that Councillor Harvey and I are going to take on that pedant role that you fondly adopted and were such an expert at into the future. So rest assured, your legacy will be had to be allocated for 2 councillors because you did such a good job. So the dream team of Harvey and Crump will carry on your good work. So thank you very much and well done.
Do we have... yes.
Hi, I feel inspired also to thank Nigel. As somebody new to this role, just elected in the previous last round of elections, I was not always certain about what I was doing. And Nigel was unstinting in his support and mentorship. And we spent many conversations on the phone, at his house, eating delicious cakes that his lovely wife Carol cooked. And I just want to express my gratitude and appreciation for all of your support and time and expertise. And I will really miss you, Nigel. Thank you.
Nobody else? No? Nigel, I believe you would like to say a few words, if you would care to come forward to the microphone.
Thank you, Chair, and congratulations on your appointment as Chair. William Shakespeare said in Antony and Cleopatra, "I will praise any man that will praise me." But there is a limit. I spent almost 15 years out of the last 23 giving unwanted and unsolicited advice to other councillors and officers, which has been freely ignored, mostly by the other side of the chamber, and definitely by the planning committee. In the gap between serving as a councillor, I extended that advice, some say interference, to the NHS in helping to create the South Warwickshire patient group. A short list of my unknown achievements includes getting the council to rename the governing body of this council to the Cabinet, which used to be called the Executive. Earth-shattering stuff, eh? Still, as the bard would say, the Cabinet by other name is still an executive. It's not been all in vain. I was instrumental in achieving the 10% renewables rule for new developments, working with cross-party colleagues, only to it to be undone later by central government. But my best and greatest job has been representing my villages. But there are many in this chamber on both sides who with more service and merit than mine. But I do thank everyone, staff and councillors, for the good wishes which are returned. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Nigel. We now move on to item 7. Okay. I move that the council place on record its thanks to the following councillor who has retired as district... I've done this, David. I have done this. Okay. Item 7, statement of the Leader of the Council. I invite Councillor Juned, as Leader of the Council, to present the Leader's report, which I believe has been circulated prior to the meeting.
Yes, I'm not intending to read it out. It has been typed out and placed on your desks for you to note, and that's all. I've just placed it there, and please accept that as the statement for the delegation and various other matters to do with the Cabinet and members of the Cabinet. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Councillor Juned. We now move on to item 8, which is political balance and membership of committees. I invite Councillor Juned again, as Leader of the Council, to introduce this item. Again, this has been printed out and placed on your tables for your noting,
unless there's anything that anybody wants to raise, then we take it as presented on the written paper that's in front of you.
Councillor Wally-Hoggins.
Yes, I have a point of order, and 2 points of order, please. Can you confirm whether you have grouped the independents as one political group for the political balance calculation? And can the monitoring officer confirm whether a written notice has been received under the Local Government Committees and Political Group Regulations 1990, formally constituting the 2 independent councillors as a political group? And if so, on what date was that notice submitted?
Can I ask the monitoring officer for advice on this one, please?
Thank you, Chair. As regards whether or not I've received personal confirmation as to whether or not the 2 independents are a group formed under the legislation, no, I have not.
Thank you. Councillor Wally-Hoggins.
So therefore then, and I have other documentation to do with this then, can you please tell me, I suspect therefore that the political balance calculation before us may not be legal.
I refer Council to the agenda item on the political balance, and that the calculation is the best fit in applying political proportionality across individual committees and overall in terms of the total number of seats to of existing council. Council will see the number of councillors per party as per the elections last year. As per the election last week, which results in 25 Lib Dems, 9 Conservatives, 3 Green, 1 independent for Councillor Bromwich, 1 independent Councillor Harvey, and 2 for Reform UK Party. Councillor Bromwich has confirmed that he does not want to take up any seat on any committee and has gifted that to Councillor Harvey. And therefore, as with the previous municipal year, Councillor Harvey has 2 seats on the committee. The only other change to the political balance calculation this year, as from the previous municipal year, is that the Liberal Democrats have effectively swapped 1 seat on regulatory committee with Councillor Harvey to arrive at the position. But there is no political grouping within the council, and as a conversation before, this is the very best fit. Indeed, across the balance, the Lib Dems would be entitled to 32.94 seats. They've actually got 32. Conservatives 11.84, that results in 12. 3.94 for the Greens, they've actually got 5. 1.32 for Councillor Bromwich and 1.32 for Councillor Harvey. Between them, they're sharing 2 seats, and 2 seats for Reform. Actually, they get 3 seats on council as a result of that. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Councillor Shenton.
Thank you, Chair. I wasn't proposing to say anything, but I feel I must now. I want to raise a serious concern regarding the District Council's calculation of political balance for committee seats. The issue is straightforward but significant. The current calculation appears to treat 2 independent councillors as though they form a political party or formal political group. This is incorrect. Independent councillors are, by definition, elected independently. Unless there has been a formally constituted political group established in accordance with the council's constitution and the relevant local government regulations, they cannot simply be grouped together for the purposes of calculating political balance. This matters because political balance is not a technicality. It is a fundamental principle designed to ensure fair and proportionate representation across committee structures, reflecting the democratic mandate given by residents. If the calculation is based on an incorrect grouping, then the allocation of committee seats may also be incorrect. This risks undermining confidence in the fairness, transparency and legality of the council's decision-making process. This is not about personalities, nor is it about disadvantaging any individual councillor. It is about applying the rules properly and consistently. I therefore ask that the Council urgently reviews the political balance calculation, clarifies, as you have, whether any formal political group has been lawfully constituted, and the monitoring officer has replied to that, and if not, recalculates the committee allocations on the correct basis. Getting this right is essential for maintaining public trust and ensuring that this council operates within both the letter and the spirit of democratic governance. You mention, in addition, the gifting of a seat. That is contrary to 2 statutes. You cannot gift a seat unless the whole council vote for it. So I would ask that either you go to a vote on that, and the whole council, and then I'd ask the monitoring officer to adjudicate and say whether it goes on a simple majority or a unanimous decision. You cannot gift a seat, and the political balance appears to be incorrect.
Councillor Wally Hoggins.
It's my understanding of the law that it is not a majority vote. It has to be a unanimous agreement that you're allowed to gift seats. And also to remind you all that the Stratford District Constitution cannot override statute, and that seems to me to be what is at play here today.
Councillor Curtis, do you want to? No. Yes, Marcia.
Thank you, Chair. Sorry, I was about to say something, but I can see that Councillor Shenton has his hand up.
Sorry, Councillor Shenton.
Yeah, if I might just clarify, the 2 acts that I've referred to are the Local Government and Housing Act 1989 and the Local Government Committees and Political Groups Regulations of 1990, where if you go to section 15, subsection 3, you'll see the definition that I'm referring to.
Thank you, Chair. 2 things. Firstly, I would be inviting the Chair to allow an adjournment, but my second point is if there were statute concerns, the request would be that they would be notified in advance so that we could look at them in more detail.
Councillor Shenton.
I take exception to that, monitoring officer, because we were only given this when we arrived. So how could we raise an objection? The correct procedure, as you know, is to raise the objection in full council, which is in the council. We cannot raise an objection if we don't know what the political balance is.
Point taken, but at the point of the meeting and it commencing as it did, I was in the room with many of you before. If there was a concern, many of you do speak to me before the meeting starts, and on this occasion, there was no such discussion. We'll have an adjournment. Just adjourn.
Just adjourn. Okay, I'm now calling an adjournment for
the consideration.
For 10 minutes whilst we talk about this. Good. Okay, a briefer hiatus, and I think we should now continue. I believe the monitoring officer has got a few words to say.
Thank you, Chair. We adjourned whilst a query regarding item 8 was raised, and that relates to section 15 of the Local Government and Housing Act 1989, and whether the issue of proportional representation for political groups was legal in the circumstances. It is important that we stress that the provisions under section 15 are legal and that SDC have complied with them. The issue here is about how one particular seat for one particular independent has been allowed to be, I'm going to say, utilised somewhere else. Now, in those circumstances, shortly, the Chief Exec will explain in more detail how we will propose to deal with that, having spoken with all political parties who were involved and who raised the concern. But I just want to explain a bit more about the provision so everyone's clear. So Section 15 of the Local Government Act and the Housing Act 1989 imposes a duty on councils to review the representation of different political groups on bodies to which the council makes appointments. And the Act requires that that review should be held at the annual meeting or as soon as practicable thereafter, or when membership of the council changes. So that's what we were seeking to do today. There's another section within the same Act which says if there are alternatives being proposed which step outside of the normal provisions of the section, that if that's to happen, there needs to be a unanimous vote of council on what's being proposed. And so the concerns that were raised earlier by certain councillors takes us to the point of that alternative arrangement for which we had to look at a way forward, hence the adjournment. Now, we've now resumed because we do believe we may well have that way forward, and with the Chair's approval, I now hand over to the Chief Executive, David Buckland.
Of course, Marcia, thank you. David.
Thank you, Chair. So as the Moderator explained, there has been proposed a change to the political balance calculation that has been tabled this afternoon now, previously this morning. And that would see Councillor Trevor Harvey being taken from Planning Committee and assuming a seat on the Employment Committee, and Councillor Ashley Jones moving from Employment Committee to a seat on the Planning Committee. As the Moderator explained, it's important that as we are in this situation where we have effectively another arrangement because one councillor has refused to take their seat, we need the agreement of full council, a unanimous agreement for that to take place. If we fail to get a unanimous agreement with that proposed change to the political balance calculation, then I'm afraid we're going to have to adjourn today's meeting and hold another meeting at some point within the next 7 days to get to some agreement. So, Chair, it's whether with that change, Council would be supporting that change.
Thank you, David. So, yeah. Do we need a proposer and a seconder?
Yeah. Could you propose it?
As a way forward, I am happy to propose the changes that have been put forward.
Have we a seconder? Yeah. Councillor Karcher. Good. All those in favour?
Okay, that is unanimous, Chair.
Is it? That is it. That is. I'm told that is unanimous. Yep. Good.
Therefore, that item is agreed. Thank you,
That
Chair.
item is agreed. Councillors, please note that chairs and vice chairs of the committees will be...
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'll shut up. Sorry,
Councillors, please note that chairs and vice chairs of the committees will be appointed in the meetings that immediately follow this council meeting. And I'll move on now to item 9, which is the Civility Pledge Renewal. I invite the Monitoring Officer to introduce this item.
Thank you, Chair. So this item arises from a motion that was moved a couple of years back now by yourselves as Council to support the Respect and Civility Pledge, which is being endorsed by NELC for parish and town councils. So about 2 years ago at Audit and Standards, that was endorsed and then brought to full council, where you as councillors endorsed that. Now, that Respect and Civility Pledge talks about best standards for members across towns and councils, but we also adopt them as well. And yourselves as councillors agreed to endorse and support the work that the councils, the local councils, that's the towns and the parishes, would do to push forward that agenda for respect and civility. And one of your actual recommendations was that at annual council you would renew your commitment to supporting that Respect and Civility Pledge for the parish and town councils. So that's what we're here to do today. So hopefully, in the circumstances, you will support that again this year.
Thank you, Marcia. I believe the leader of the council wishes to say a few words.
Yes, I actually had a meeting with WALC at the time, and it was after that meeting that I said to them that they would encourage, they were bringing in this civility and respect pledge for town and parish councils, but they did say that they would find it helpful and supportive if we also took a similar pledge. So I encouraged the District Council to promote the Civility and Respect Pledge in 2024, and not only for parish councils, but also for our own councillors. It was put together nationally by the NALC, the National Association of Local Councillors originally, because it was recognised that unreasonable behaviour prevents councils from functioning effectively and undermines public confidence and trust in local democracy. So the pledge is intended to demonstrate that this council is committed to standing up against poor behaviour across our sector and to driving through positive changes which support civil and respectful conduct. And I do hope that you will all support this pledge today.
Thank you, Councillor Junid. Do I take that as you're proposing?
I'm proposing that.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Alcock.
Yes, thank you. I'm happy to second this with the work I've done recently through the Audit and Standards Committee. Thank you.
Good. So are all councillors agreed that we should renew the civility pledge? I think we're all agreed. Good. I'm going to do it. Yeah. Good. Okay. I think that we've finished all of the business that's on the agenda for today, and all that remains for me to say, I think, at this point, is that the next meeting of council is the extraordinary meeting on the 8th of June. And with that, I now formally close this meeting.
Okay. The next business for today is the appointment of the chairs and vice chairs, as Chair said, for each of the individual committees. That starts with the Audit and Standards Committee, and we will be having a very short meeting, hopefully, of the Audit and Standards Committee. If I call your name, you are a member of that committee, and could you please stand when I call your name, with the exception, obviously, of Councillor Alcock, but Councillor Victoria Alcock, Tom Ballinger, Ian Fradgley, Jenny Fradgley, Peter Hencher-Seraphin, Stuart Keithley, Susan Ostrander, Malcolm Littlewood, Linda Organ, Ian Shenton, and we have apologies from Councillor Parker. Olivia Hatch, would you substitute for Councillor Parker? Right. Apologies for absence, but I've just done that inadvertently. Councillor Parker is absent and Councillor Hatch is substituting. So from the members of the Audit and Standards Committee, do I have any nominations for the chair of that committee? There was a dead heat, but I'll go with Councillor Keithley.
Thank you, David. Yeah, I'd like to propose Councillor Victoria Alcock as the chair of this committee.
Thank you. Councillor Ballinger. Do I have a seconder? Could you say that?
I would like to second Councillor Alcock. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have any further nominations for chair? In which case, Councillor Alcock, you are elected as the chair of the Audit and Standards Committee. I will sit down and allow you to conduct the rest of the business for that committee. Members of the Audit and Standards Committee, please remain standing because we've got to do the vice chair position now. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Executive. Thank you to members of the committee. Item 4 is appointment of the Vice Chair. Do I have nominations for Vice Chair of the committee, please?
Yes, I would like to nominate Tom Ballinger to be Vice Chair of this committee.
Thank you, Councillor. And do I have a seconder, please? Councillor Jenny Fradgley.
I would like to second that.
Thank you very much. Do I have any further nominations, please? There is no further nominations. Then Councillor Ballinger is elected as Vice Chair of Audit and Standards Committee. Thank you all. Can you please note that the next meeting of Audit and Standards Committee is 27th of July 2026 at 4 p.m. I declare this meeting closed.
Chair, we now move on to the meeting of the Employment Committee. So as before, if I could ask the following councillors to stand. Councillor Cliff Brown, Liz Coles, Ian Fradgley, David Johnston, Susan Junid, Malcolm Littlewood, Ian Shenton, Duncan Parker and Trevor Harvey. I have no apologies for the meeting. However, from those standing, could I please have any nominations for the chair of the Employment Committee? Councillor Junid.
I would like to propose Councillor David Johnson as the chair of the Employment Committee.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder?
Yeah, I would like to second that.
Okay. Oh, pardon me. I need to. I should just nip back to the previous item 2. I do have apologies from Councillor Parker. Councillor Paston, would you be the substitute for Councillor Parker? Apologies for that. So I have Councillor Johnston nominated for the chair of the committee. Have we any other nominations? A hand went up in the store. Okay. Thank you very much. Councillor Johnston, you are the chair of the meeting and continue the rest of the business of the meeting. Thank you.
Could I ask for nominations for the position of vice chair of the committee? And I would like to propose Councillor Junid.
I'm happy to accept, but who's going to second me? Liz Coles, Councillor Coles.
Are there any other nominations? Then I declare Councillor Junid is elected Vice Chair of the Employment Committee. And members, please note the next meeting of the Employment Committee is the 23rd of June at 10 a.m. And I declare this meeting closed. Thank you for your attendance.
Thank you, Chair. The next meeting where we will be selecting the Chair and Vice Chair is the Overview and Scrutiny Committee. So if the following councillors could please stand. Councillor Victoria Alcock, Ian Fradgley, Peter Hencher-Seraphin, Stuart Keithley, Mike Rice, Kate Rolfe, Andy Crump, Malcolm Littlewood, Dave Passingham, Sarah Wally-Hoggins, and Trevor Harvey. So, as before, I have no apologies for this committee. Do I have any nominations for the chair of this committee? Okay, Councillor Littlewood.
I'd like to nominate Trevor Harvey.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Crump.
I'm happy to second Councillor Harvey. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have any further nominations? Okay, well, I'll sit down and Trevor Harvey, congratulations. No, not you guys, stand up. Councillor Harvey, if you can help the rest of the business. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chief Executive. Item 4 on the agenda is the appointment of Vice Chairman. Could I have nominations for the Vice Chairman's position, please? Councillor Keithley.
Thank you, Chair. I'd just like to nominate Councillor David Passingham as the Vice Chair.
Thank you for that. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Alcock.
Yes, thank you. I'd like to second this nomination. Councillor Passingham, please.
Thank you very much, Councillor Alcock. Are there any other nominations? No? I therefore declare that Councillor David Passingham has been elected to the position of Vice Chairman of the OSC. There are no other items on the agenda, except I should remind you that the next meeting of the OSC will take place on the 27th of May at 10 o'clock. I declare the meeting closed. Thank you for your attendance.
Thank you, Chair. The next meeting is the Planning Committee. If the following members could please stand. Councillor Lewis Adam, Tom Ballinger, Roger Harding, Peter Hedger-Seraphin, Stuart Keithley, Gillian Padgham, Bill Fleming, Alan Scorer, Dave Passingham and Ashley Jones. We do have apologies from Councillor Neil Eden with Councillor Cliff. Oh, I'm a substitute. Okay. It's a choice between Councillor Cliff Brown and Councillor Kate Rolfe. Okay. Cliff Brown. And we have Councillor Anne Parry absent. Councillor Malcolm Littlewood will be substituting. So, agenda item 3, appointment of chair. Do I have any nominations for the chair of the committee? Councillor Ballinger.
Thank you, David. I would like to nominate someone who's a fantastic chair of the Planning Committee, Councillor Keithley. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Padgham.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chief Exec. I'm happy to propose Stuart Keithley as Vice Chair. Thank you.
As chair.
So sorry. Sorry. Thank you. Apologies. I'd like to second Stuart Keithley as Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Do I have any further nominations? With no further nominations, I declare that Councillor Keithley is the chair of the Planning Committee and conduct the rest of the business.
Thank you very much, David, and thank you, everybody, for that vote of confidence in me to carry on as Chair of Planning. Now, I'm seeking nominations for the Vice Chair of the Planning Committee. Do I have any nominations, please? Yes, Councillor Harding.
I'd like to propose Councillor Neil Eden, please.
Thank you very much. And a seconder for Councillor Eden?
Happy to second that, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Adam. Do I have any other nominations as for Vice Chair of the Planning Committee? No, in which case I can declare that Councillor Neil Eden is elected Vice Chair of the Planning Committee. I don't think there are any further items of business on the agenda, but members, please note. Oh, did I ask if there were further nominations? I did. Sorry. Yeah, I've lost my place there. So if there's nothing else, members, please note the next Planning Committee meeting is next Wednesday, 20th of May at 6 p.m. And on that, I can declare the meeting closed. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Chair. We now have the final committee, which is the Regulatory Committee. If the following councillors could please stand. Councillor Tom Ballinger, Councillor David Curtis, Jenny Fradgley, Lorraine Grocott, Roger Harding, David Johnston, Kate Rolfe, Chris Mills, Ian Shenton, Olivia Hatch, Sarah Wally-Hoggins. I have no apologies for absence. Agenda item 3, appointment of the chair. Do I have any nominations for the chair of this committee? Councillor Johnston.
Could I propose Councillor Rolfe as chair of this committee?
Thank you. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Jenny Fradgley.
Please, may I second that?
Thank you. Are there any further nominations? in which I declare, therefore, Kate Rolfe is the chair of the Regulatory Committee and will conduct the rest of the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Do I have nominations for Vice Chair of the committee, please? Councillor Ballinger.
I'd like to propose Councillor Harding. Thank you.
Do I have a seconder to that? Councillor Grocott.
I'd like to second that. Thank you.
All those in favour? Do we have any other nominations? I ought to know what I'm doing by now. Do we have any other nominations? Thank you. Thank you. That would be great. So, Councillor Roger Harding, you will be Vice Chair. I'm now going to move on to the appointment of licensing panel chairs. Do I have any nominations for the 3 licensing panel chairs? Councillor Curtis, Councillor Jenny Fradgley and Councillor Lorraine Grocott. Do I have any nominations? Councillor Harding.
Yes, I'd like to propose those 3 en bloc.
And do I have a seconder, please? Thank you, Councillor Ballinger.
I would like to second those en bloc, please, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other nominations? I confirm that Councillors Curtis, Fradgley and Grocott are elected chairs of the licensing panel. Members, please note that the next meeting of the Regulatory Committee is the 18th of June at 3 o'clock. Before I declare the meeting closed, I would like to please put forward my apologies for absence on that day, as before I knew I was going to on this committee, I had booked a holiday. I do apologise, so Councillor Roger Harding will take over that for that meeting. I declare this meeting closed. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Rolfe. All that remains, and I use that word advisedly because that may be true, all that remains is to invite you to partake of the sandwiches and drinks at the back of the room. Thank you.